as soon as you turn 65, you can enroll in Medicare and then it's a free ride for the rest of your life, right? No, not at all. In fact, Medicare is far from free. Yes, it is heavily discounted, but you're still on the hook for definitely a bunch of money. And we want to reduce that exposure as much as possible and make sure that you're paying out of pocket the absolute minimal amount any given year at any given point, right? So anyway, let me help you here in this video. All right, so anyway, let's pop this information up on the screen right here, right now. Feel free to read through the details of this. Let me explain. All right, so Medicare has this 80-20 split. Now, I'm talking about Medicare Part B, to be exact, B, okay? Anyway, so 80% is paid by Medicare, as in Medicare-approved expenditures. 80% of that is paid by Medicare. The other 20% is what they call coinsurance. Now, that is paid by either you as the beneficiary, or it is paid by your Medigap plan or maybe your Advantage plan, depending on what type of coverages you have. If you have that coverage, if you don't have it, then guess what? You're on the hook for that extra 20%. Now, let me give you a quick example here. Let's just say that you have a $100 medical bill, okay? So you go to the doctor, they bill $100, okay? Medicare is going to pay $80 of that. You are on the hook for $20, okay? Now, that's obviously not a ton of money. $20, you know, it's not a ton, but whatever, right? But let's just say it's $1,000. Now you'd be on the hook for $200 if Medicare were to pay $800 in that case. And again, I know it's a kind of extreme example, but you get my point. I'm just trying to make a point here with this. Now, the point that I want to make about this is that this is where Medicare supplement plans or Medigap plans or Medicare Advantage comes into play here. Now, again, obviously, I don't know your exact situation, what is best for you. In fact, there's over 20,000 plans across the entire country. And as you probably noticed, if you need help, you can always call Chapter Medicare right there. Phone number's on the screen for you. It's 100% for free. They can help you finding the right plan for you, the right coverages, consistent with your 3 Ps, the providers you want to see, as in the doctors, the prescriptions that you need or that you don't need, as well as your preferences, what else that it is that you want from your coverages. Anyway, Chapter there, they can help you out for sure. They've already helped thousands of you in this community collectively save about $2 million just in the last year or so. But anyway, this is where this extra coverage comes in, okay? This other plan, Medigap plan / Medicare supplement plan, it's just 2 different names for the same thing, or Medicare Advantage plan, these come in and they help cover that additional 20% that is basically billed to you as in the beneficiary, right? So Medicare picks up the 80%, and then the 20% either you are on the hook for or your supplement / Medicare Advantage plan would then be on the hook for, okay? That's the big point that I want to make for you, is that is the importance of having that additional coverage that goes over your original Medicare or the Advantage plan in that case, if you happen to go that route. And again, I don't know your exact situation, what's best for you, but again, that's what Chapter can help you out with right there. So call them if you have questions, and they can certainly help you find the right plan for you and your situation. But anyway, point is this. A couple other things I want to point out for you is that with original Medicare, there's no max out of pocket any given year. So point being is that you could go to the doctor and rack up bill after bill after bill after bill. And you could be, having Medicare pay the 80%, and maybe you're, maybe you are paying the 20% if you don't have a supplement or a Medigap plan in that situation. Or if you have one of those plans, they're likely going to have a max out of pocket built into that. But if you don't have one of those plans, then there's no max out of pocket. You could go to the doctor every single week throughout the entire year on original Medicare, and if you don't have some type of supplement or Medigap plan to go along with that, you may be just banging along and just paying 20%, and there's no cap on that whatsoever. You'd be paying a ton of money out of pocket throughout the course of the entire year. Now, we also have to mention this. There is the Medicare Part B deductible as well. Right now in 2026, it's $283. It's a one-time $283. Once you pay that, then your plan starts picking up the rest from there. But you're on the hook for the first $283 of expenditures with Medicare Part B. That's the deductible. It goes up every single year. And 2026, it went up by $26 from $257 last year up to $283 this year in 2026. Okay, so that's the deductible. Okay, so that's the importance behind it. Okay, same thing goes with a Medicare Advantage plan. Now, again, I don't know your situation. I'm not giving advice here in this video whatsoever. I'm just simply saying I don't know what's best for you. But again, you can simply call Chapter there to let them help you figure out the best Medicare coverages for you and your personal needs. Whatever questions you may have, they can certainly answer those for you. And again, if you need help enrolling in Medicare, if you're turning 65, if you have a special enrollment period opening up for you because you moved across state lines or county lines, or if you just simply need help finding the right Medicare coverage because you don't like your plan, whatever it happens to be, Chapter can probably help you out. Just give them a call. They can absolutely go through your questions and find whatever options you have, flexibilities, optionality you may have, even right here, still early on in 2026. They can probably still help you out. So anyway, give them a call. But anyway, same thing goes with a Medicare Advantage plan. Now, in this sense, they're also going to come in. Medicare Advantage is basically just a replacement for original Medicare. Okay, it's a Medicare-approved private plan or offered by a private insurer. And if somebody were to take this route, then they would also come in and pay, your additional Medicare expenses in that sense. Okay. Now, the nice thing about a Medicare Advantage plan is that they're likely going to have a max out of pocket, which would be really nice because remember, with original Medicare, there's no max out of pocket. You could be racking up huge medical bills in that sense if you didn't have, some kind of plan that goes along with that to actually cap your max out of pocket, right? But that's kind of one of the nice things about a Medicare Advantage plan is that, if things get really bad for whatever reason, if you have a lot of medical expenses, worst case scenario is that you'd be capped out. At some point, it's going to be some, multiple thousands of dollars, but at least you would know your maximum out of pocket for the entire year would be capped at that number, consistent with your exact plan. Now, I'm going to make it very clear. I'm not sitting here pushing Medicare Advantage plans at all. I don't know at all. I'm just trying to give you the details so that you have all of this information at your disposal so you can kind of compare the differences here. But long story short, and how I started out this video was that